baby that's killed in Gaza is a tragedy. It doesn't matter who their
You
parents
still
are.
have empathy for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm human. I don't want the war. I thank God that we have the IDF and they keep my children safe. But it breaks my heart that that has come at the expense of some other parent's child. I don't want the war. I don't want death. Death is ugly. Death is horrible. I have empathy
Yeah,
for
I
you, and I.
personally, man, I'm sorry. Like when I see that, like I don't even take sides because I'm so culturally distanced. It's not
Yeah.
something that bothers me, and I don't even know where to stand because it's too much conflicting information. But seeing
I
that,
don't think there is a place to stand. I think the only place you can stand is with the innocent victims, irrespective of whether they're Israeli, whether they're Palestinian, and there have been innocent people that have died on both sides. We didn't start the war. We don't want the war. Like, if our enemies put down their weapons, there would be peace. We're not expansionist. We just want to live in peace. But our
oh,
history has taught us.
you don't want the West Bank.
So the only exception I would make is Judea and Samaria, and that's not even ideological or religious. I just think the best chance that the people who live here have at peace is that if Israel is in control of that territory. I think Palestinian nationalism cannot exist alongside Israeli nationalism. You'll never see a Palestinian that depicts Palestine as the West Bank and Gaza. And they ethnically cleansed every last Jew. We have millions of Arabs that live here who have complete equality. And so I would like to see Israel assert sovereignty over Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, because I think it's the greatest chance that their children have for peace and the greatest chance that my children have for peace.
You still do want Greater Israel.
That's not Greater Israel. Greater Israel, people have misconception of. They talk about it being from the Euphrates to the Great River in Egypt.
Yeah.
And so Judea and Samaria is still modern politics. I mean, it's the heartland of the biblical Jewish kingdom, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also in line with San Remo and the original proposal of a Jewish national home in this region. So I'm not basing my politics on biblical texts. I'm basing them on modern law, ancestral rights, the greatest chance for peace for everyone in this region, the survival of my people, 14 words. You're a Nazi. And so,
So you don't think
yeah,
there's no possibility for a two-state solution?
I think a two-state, absolutely not. No, two-state solution has just led to continuous death and destruction.
Because you're
You'll
saying
never find a
if you do have
Palestinian.
it, they will come back one
Yeah,
day
you'll never
and
find a
do
Palestinian. Yeah, it's a stepping stone for the next wave of violence.
like you're
You'll
gonna
never
have an
meet.
October 7th every year, basically,
Yeah,
is what you're
and the
saying.
stronger that the Palestinian state gets, the greater their chance they have of succeeding at taking what they believe is Palestine, so Tel Aviv, Haifa. And I disagree with that history. I think it's a fiction,
Mm-hmm.
as we started, and it's a fiction that leads to the death of my people, and I'm tired of my people dying.
And yeah, and a lot of the kids,
Yeah.
the
I
kids,
don't,
like
I don't want to see Gaza repeated again. And even if they're not successful, let's say they're not, but they continue the war, we're very powerful and more of their
but
people
it's
die.
a ceasefire now, right?
Currently, but the ceasefires mean nothing here. Hezbollah in Lebanon have been firing throughout the ceasefire. At the moment, I've got friends in Gaza. There's no ceasefire, it's continuous attacks. I mean, there is a
You have friends
ceasefire,
in
but it's.
Gaza. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
no, soldiers. I actually have
Ah,
friends as well in Gaza. I have, on
oh,
both sides of the line. I have friends. I have friends in Gaza who want peace with Israel. I have friends in Gaza who are there to keep Israel secure and safe on both sides. The thing that unites both of my friends, irrespective of which side of the yellow line they're on, is their desire for peace.
so if a civilian, you're sure they were civilians, right? From
Yeah.
the Palestine, I guess they came to Israel and they said, I want to live in peace. Grant me some refugee status, citizenship, whatever. Allow me to live here freely. I won't bother you about Palestine, right? I just want you. I just
If
want
there
you
was
to
a
take.
territorial expansion, I would agree. So the talk what we were talking before. So the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, is divided into three sections: Area A, Area B, and Area C. At the moment, Area C is majority Jewish. At the very least, I think Israel should assert sovereignty over Area C and grant anyone who's living there the right to Israeli citizenship. There's no demographic threat to the Jewish people. There's no to the Jewish majority within Israel. It contains most of the holiest sites of our people's history.
You have Jerusalem.
So Jerusalem's interesting. So we already have Jerusalem. We have some
But
stupid laws where we don't assert.
isn't it half
So
and half with Jerusalem?
no. So at the moment we have fully reunited Jerusalem since the Jordanians conquered it and divided it into two. So we believe Jerusalem. We don't believe in East-West Jerusalem. We just believe Jerusalem. East-West Jerusalem was a fiction of the Jordanians when Abdullah conquered it in 48 and ethnically cleansed the Jewish community, which had been the majority population of Jerusalem for at least 200 years, despite Ottoman persecutions and clampdowns on immigration, etc. No, I'm talking more when you go into like the Shomron and Yehuda. So they're like the Shiloh, the site where the Jewish temple, the Mishkan, the tabernacle stood
Yeah.
before it moved to Jerusalem. That's in the heart of Area C. That should be Israel. And Jews form the majority population there. Israel's invested huge sums of money on infrastructure. There's billions and billions of dollars of property. It's not going anywhere. So instead of playing games, Israel should just assert sovereignty and offer anyone that's living there equality under the law if they want it. If not, they can have residency, like in East Jerusalem.
Do you think they can do all this now and they're just choosing not to? They have the power to
Yes,
do so, but they're choosing not to?
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a mistake. I think being honest it sends a clear message to the nations, the United Nations, and saying that this is Israel. Stop investing in infrastructure here, which destabilizes and leads to further conflict. Stop sending I speak to Palestinians every single day from here, and I say, if Israel offered you citizenship, would you take it? Like, granted, if there was a button you could press and you could get rid of all the Jews, I'm sure you're going to press that button, but that button doesn't exist. So with the reality you face today, if Israel were to do that, would be cool. And the overwhelming majority of Arabs that live in Area C that I speak to, and they're on my YouTube channel, they say they would take Israeli citizenship. And so I think Israel should stop playing games and just say this is Israel.
What is stopping them? What is it that?
America.
But isn't America, kind of just following Israel into what they want to
No,
do?
it's the other way around. It's so frustrating. It's one of the most frustrating anti-Semitic or don't even know if it's anti, but yeah, I guess it is. Tropes that said is that Israel controls America. It's like, guys, you are so freaking dumb. We wanted to kill Yahya Sinwar. He's in Rafah. We want to go into Rafah. America stops munitions from coming to Israel at a time while we're to prevent us from going into Rafah. They say if we're going to Rafah, they're not sending the munitions. We're in the middle of a war. We're getting attacked from Iran. We're getting attacked from Yemen, and America blocks arms to us. And it hurts particularly because we have this ridiculous arrangement, which we don't want, and Netanyahu's even said he doesn't want, where they give us basically a loan or they write a check and says, here's $3 billion. You have to spend it on American arms. These are the arms you can buy. And you can't develop your own. So we can't develop a fighter jet because we've got to buy American. Now, Americans make great jets, but it then massively limits us because we become
Dependent.
completely dependent. We lose our sovereignty, lose our independence. The relationship should be, we love America. America is a great ally, a great friend. There should be no money coming to us. If we want to buy weapons from America, we buy weapons from America. And I think we should exclusively buy weapons from America, but we should also be able to develop our own. And if America wants us to do and help them in this region, happy to. We are the most powerful entity in this region, without a doubt. Happily, we will help America, but we don't want to be subservient. We don't want to be subordinate. We don't want to be under America. We want to be a partner in this region.
Do you think America is only so invested in you because, like you said, you're such a powerhouse in the Middle East?
I
And
think there's
it's a
two
stronghold for
aspects.
them?
There's two aspects. One aspect, so domestically, there's a very large evangelical voting bloc that loves Israel. So it's in politicians' interests to signal that they support Israel because the Christian bloc likes that. There's obviously the Jewish bloc, which is again very pro-Israel. So domestically, there's a Christian and a Jewish incentive to align itself with Israel rather than, say, our enemies in this region. But far more importantly, and this is the real reason, and this is what people don't get, America's interest in this region is oil. I mean, everyone knows that. That's not a chiddush. That's nothing
Always been
amazing.
like that, yeah.
And the reason America has bases in Qatar and all of the Gulf states, with the exception of Saudi, is because they need America there for their own internal stability. So they're not threatened by regimes like Iran or Ikhwanis or whoever it may be. And the second side of it is it ensures that the oil flows out. It ensures that the oil flows into the global economy, and America retains its status as the global hegemon. Now, Israel slides into this equation because we are by far the most powerful nation. So when Iran threatens the Gulf states, when Iran threatens the global economy, when Iran threatens America, it's Israel that's able to fly 200 planes into Iran with far greater numbers than the Americans can bring over in the time frame, provide intelligence that America can't get, provide the first wave of attacks to remove the air defenses so America can fly in and provide safety and security to the Gulf states, the global economy, and it solidifies America and retains America's status as the global hegemon. It proves its worth to the Gulf states, and Israel, obviously, it's to our benefit because one, we're pleasing America, but two, Iran's obviously as much a threat, if not more of a threat to us than the Gulf states. And so it's definitely a reciprocal relationship, which is mutually beneficial. But I would like that relationship to not have strings attached. It's, we will support America, we will help in any way that we can, but we're free to say yes, we're free to say no, and we're free to engage those people that seek to destroy us in whichever way we deem appropriate.